So in this lesson, we're going to look at something called the measures of central tendency. Okay, so we organize our data, especially when a frequency data, and this is a frequency plot, we can find that the data distributes itself in very predictable ways. Okay, so one of the things that we see that when in normal data is that we have this bell curve where we have lots that are average, we have very few that are really, in this case, height, so very tall, very few that are very short. And so what happens is that the data tends to go towards the middle. Okay, so most of the data tends to be in the middle. So this is what we call the measure of central tendency. So mean, median, and mode are what goes to the center. Now this mean, median, and mode, we need to make sure we understand what it is. So the mean is the average of the data set. So if we have like a bunch of scores, we take the average of those scores, and that's what we call the mean. The median is the middle score. So in this case here, if we have a median, we just divide this up. We say half the people are on this side and half the people are on this side. Okay, and if that's the case, that represents what we call the median. Okay, so the mode is the most frequently occurring score in the data set. And again, with normal data, that's usually in the middle. So in this case here, if we look at the most frequently occurring, well, that one right there. Okay, so in a bar graph, the highest bar would end up being the mode. So when we look at these data sets, so imagine part for A here, these might represent some scores or something, okay, and we want to calculate the mean, median, and mode. Okay, so what would the mean be? Let's start with the mean. Okay, and in math we often use this little x with a bar for the mean. Okay, to calculate the mean we do this. We just add up all the scores. Okay, and then we divide it by the number of scores we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 scores that we're measuring. So we add up those scores and divide by 6. Okay, so let's do this here. So we go 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. Okay, that gives us a total score of 33. And we divide that by 6, and we end up with 5.5 as our mean. So the average score, okay, and this is our average, the average score is based on the sum of all the scores divided by the number of scores. And it looks like this. There's actually a formula for this. The sigma means sum of the scores, we call x, and divided by n, which is the number of scores. Okay, so that's our average or mean. The median is going to be the middle score. So the best way to find median is if we line them all up and we find the middle. Okay, right there. That represents our median score. Now, in this case, the median is right in between two scores. So to find the median of two scores of an even data set, we usually just take the average. So here we take the middle, 5 plus 6. Okay, and we find the average of those, and we get 5.5. So the score in between the two middle scores, these ones here, represents our median. So this is our median score. Okay, and then the mode of this, well, there is no mode because there's one of each. So there's not one score that occurs more often than another, so there's no mode in this case. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at these test scores here. There's a whole whack of them. Okay, to find the average, we're just going to add them all up. Okay, so add them all up. So we're going to take the sum of all the scores and then divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 scores. Okay, so we're going to divide it by 13. So if we add up all these scores, we get, looks like we have, the sum is going to be 283. over 13 is going to give us the mean. So the average score is 21 point. Let's round that to 21.8. So that represents my average, okay, or the mean. The median, well, the median we kind of have to line these up. Okay, so I'm going to line them up from the smallest. Okay, 16, let's just get rid of that. 18, 19, get rid of those. 20, 21, 21, 21. Looks like we have 3 21s. Okay, 22, no 22s. 23, 23. Get rid of those. 2 24s. 24, 24. And then 25. And then 28. Okay, so they've got all my scores. Just count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so the median score then represents the middle score. Since I have it in order, I just have to count to the middle. And since there's 13 scores, the middle score is going to be the 7th score. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that represents my median score. And this is nice because that's actually the middle, because there's exactly 6 on this side, exactly 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 6 on both sides. So that represents my median score. So I'll have a median of 21. Now with an odd set, we take the middle. With an even, we average it out. An easy way to figure out what the middle is we just take the total set, okay, and we add 1 and divide by 2. Sorry, we divide by 2 and add 0.5. Okay, so if I divide by 2, I get 6.5, and I add 0.5, I get 7. Okay, that gives me my 7 score. Here I have 1, 2, 6. So I divide by 2 is 3 and add 0.5. So I'm going to have the score in the middle of 3 and 4. Okay, so that's maybe a trick you can use to find the middle score. And lastly, the mode. The mode is the most frequently occurring score, and that would be this one here. Okay, the mode, the score of 21 occurs 3 times, which is more than any other score, so the mode is equal to 21 in this case.